We'll look at the top 10 in our starting order here in PSLKarting.com Pro Shifter. Starting in the 10th spot, the number 51 is Jarvis Gennari. Gennari making his debut in Pro Shifter competition here after Andre Martins withdrew from the Master Shifter class, and Jarvis decided to jump in the car and see how he could do. Five-time Florida Winter Tour champion Gennari starts 10th. Christopher Lal-Doss, the number 6 out of Florida on the Zanardi kart, will start in the 9th spot. Alex Manglass, the number 3 out of New York on the CRG from SSE, starts 8th. The number 4 of Ben Schemmerhorn out of Colorado on the CRG starts in the 7th spot. Matthew Mayer, the Jamaican, on the number 33 will start 6th, and just beside him, the number 55 of Cody Hodgson will start in the 5th spot. The Californian starting 5th. Hayden Dewerson, the Florida driver, starts in the 4th spot on the 94 Etal kart. And two-time ICC national champion Gary Carlton on the CRG. The Californian starting in the 3rd spot, the number 27. Fritz Leisman, reigning Florida Winter Tour champion, will start from the outside of the front row. The number 61 CRG of Leisman starts 2nd. And your pole sitter, he is also a two-time ICC national champion, wears the number 41, racing out of the Tony Kart Florida tent. Alex Speed is your pole sitter. So we get our shifter drivers up. 14 cars set to take the start here. 14 cars set to take the start here in Pro Shifter. We're getting our guys up into the lineup very quickly. We got a space as it looks like we got one driver out. There is a gap back, so we're missing, looks like Alex Manglass is not starting. That's not right, so now we move him up. Not sure what the heck that was about. Jarvis is not starting, okay, so that's what that's about, is Jarvis Gennari has chosen not to take the start here in the final. We turn the flags over to the flag man, and we've got a green, green, green. We see Hodgson trying a big move there that doesn't work out, and it looks like Speed followed by Leisman, followed by Carlton in that order down into 2. Hodgson into 4th spot, has a good start. Oh, and Hayden Dewerson got hung out to dry as Matthew Mayer goes by in 2. Oh, Carlton takes big pressure now as he gets by. So Hodgson and Carlton get by Leisman down between 2 and 3. Man, that had to hurt as those guys pushed by hard. And Hodgson breaks. Hodgson, the 55, breaks coming out of 8. Oh, not sure what it is, but the car suddenly stopped and just spun off the racetrack. Speed back onto the front straight. Carlton 2nd. The 14, of Matthew Lee. You got to be kidding. The 14 of Matthew Lee in the 3rd spot, and then Mayer in 4th. Lee started in the 12th spot, and on the first lap is already running in the 4th spot. Forgive me, the 3rd spot. So from 12th to 3rd in one lap is Matthew Lee. He was on the podium yesterday, and looks to go that direction again. There's Mayer in the 4th spot, followed by Hayden Dewerson in 5th. Leachman has fallen all the way back to 6th spot after running in 2nd at the very opening lap. Speed leads over Carlton. They're starting to pull away from Lee in the 3rd spot. Here comes Mayer with pressure now from Dewerson in 4th and 5th. Leachman in 6th, the 4 and the 3. That's Ben Schemmerhorn, and the 3 car is Alex Manglass. So already separation, but here comes the battle now between Matthew Mayer and Dewerson. Wow, Carlton had a big moment there as it looked like he stalled the car coming out of turn 8. That allows Speed to get away again a little bit. Carlton was closing the gap, but that big mistake out of 8, and now Speed starts to get away. Yesterday in the final, Alex Speed tried a big move down into 7 and 8 that did not work out. The end result was he crashed into Carlton, tore the tie rod off, and had to park the car. He was pretty upset about it, making comments at the KF2 podium that he was going to redeem himself today. This morning in the pre-final, he checked out and was never headed for the win. Right now, he looks like he's got the hammer down as he's trying to get away from Gary Carlton in that 2nd spot. Matthew Lee still there in 3rd. Here comes that battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th now. Fourth, fifth, and sixth is where the race on the racetrack is right now. I'll keep my eyes on that. Down the inside goes Mayer, picks up the spot. And no, forgive me, Mayer under pressure now. Here comes Leisman back. Gets by Dewerson, and now Mayer gets away cleanly. So Mayer with a big inside-outside move to hang on to the spot. Leisman takes advantage of that to go by Dewerson. Your leader back down into turn 9. Man, it looks to me like Matthew Lee may be closing up on Gary Carlton a little bit. I'll check that the next time they come by the line. Speed all alone now and pulling away from Carlton at the front. At least that's what it looks like to me. I'll check the times as they cross the line. Last time they went by, the gap was 1.299 seconds from between Speed and Carlton. We'll check the gap here in just a moment. Here goes Leitsman by Mayer now. Leitsman picks up the fourth spot. Leitsman into fourth. Here comes pressure from Dewerson as well. So Mayer back to fifth. Leitsman into fourth. 1.381 seconds the gap now between Speed and Carlton. So not a lot of difference, but some. There goes Leitsman now in the fourth spot. Dewerson gets by Mayer as well. Out front, Speed onto the finishing straight. Carlton, lead. Here comes Leisman in fourth. Dewerson fifth. Mayer sixth. And then Schemmerhorn followed by the number 3 of Manglass. Again, 1.3 something on the previous lap. Let's see what our gap looks like now. 1.19. So Carlton just slow eating away at the lead of Speed. Working lap 7 now. Actually, forgive me, that would be working lap 8 now. Working lap 8, and the gap 1.19 now updates to Speed into 7 and 8. Here comes Carlton. 1.349, so Speed actually able to open up the gap by 0.2 of a second on that lap. Speed throwing down some seriously quick laps. Let's take a look at how that shakes out. Alex Speed a 44.89, Carlton a 44.702. And now Speed goes a 44.613. So Alex Speed just threw down the gauntlet as he goes his fastest lap of the race on that last circuit, and he's starting to open the gap up on Carlton back in the second spot. Cody Hodgson sits dejectedly in the infield. That driver is one of 3 drivers in this race that participated at the Gran Giaviana 500. Your leader now back through turn 9. Looks to me like Carlton may have closed it up on that lap. We'll see when we get back to the timesheets in just a moment. Leitsman all alone now in the 4th spot, and then a big gap back to Hayden Dewerson in 5th. Your leader's back across the line. 1.486 on the previous lap. .406 this time, so almost no change in the gap between Carlton and Speed on that lap. Speed really throwing down some times as he knows he's got to stay away from Gary Carlton. Carlton gets close enough, he'll get the bit in his teeth, as they say, and really start to put the pressure down. Okay, working lap number 9 right now, working lap 11 according to my chart. According to my chart, they are now working lap 11. Speed, again, 1.406 on the previous lap was the gap, now 1.477, so just 0.07 increase in the gap, 0.07 of an increase. So just about the same lap times between Speed and Carlton. Now, somebody that is going quicker is the number 14 of Matthew Lee, and he just caught and whipped by Carlton. Carlton climbs the curbs coming out of 8. An uncharacteristic mistake for Mr. Gary Carlton, and Matthew Lee goes into second. Lee, the number 14 out of New York on the CRG, goes by Gary Carlton. So the young man, very poised at the podiums last night. I talked to him this morning when he picked up his check for his cash check from the purse from yesterday. He was very nonchalant. How you doing? Really liking it. Yeah, track's great. Enjoy racing with Gary and Alex. And here he is in second place. Pro Shifter rolling down here. Again, round 4. Speed had troubles earlier in this class, and it'll be interesting to see what the finishing results do to the points totals as we leave round 4 of the 6-race championship. Antoine LeBrun pulls the 69 car into the infield. Speed definitely opening up gap now. Last time by 1.477, now 2.079, so almost 0.6 of a lap faster for Speed in that last lap. Speed well out front. Here comes Carlton now. I'll keep my eye on that battle for second as Carlton is now closed back up on the back bumper of Matthew Lee. Oh, and another big mistake from Carlton. Oh, and he almost throws it away down in 7 as well. So Carlton is having some sort of problem there as he almost goes off the track in 2 separate places in the infield. That many mistakes out of Carlton is very uncharacteristic. Speed back onto the finishing straight. Now Lee across. Carlton across. Leisman. Dewerson. Here comes Schemmerhorn and Manglass. Quite a few drivers now pulling out of this race. We've had some mechanical issues. We've had some drivers that I think just decided it wasn't worth the finish. Alex Speed really checking out up front now. He's throwing down some pretty fast laps here as the laps wind down. I believe this class pays $960 to win today. So Speed should take home a few thousand out of the weekend, as he's also taken home the money in the KF2 classes so far this weekend. Well, it'll be a nice payday for Mr. Speed if he can win the Pro Shifter and the KF2 class here this weekend. Back through 7 and 8, your leader, the number 41 Tony Kart, jamming the gears. Man, I'm telling you, Matthew Lee looks to me like he's reeling Speed in. I'm going to go check the gap again. Last time by, no, actually it opened up 2.386 the last time by, so actually Speed starting to run away. 44.565, the fastest lap by Speed. Matthew Lee's fastest lap of 44.612, so about 47 thousandths difference. Lee is definitely running really quick times. I mean, again, 47 thousandths. The difference between the fastest lap of Matthew Lee and the fastest lap of Alex Speed. The gap at the line that time, 2.318, so just about the same gap. Those guys, again, running within thousandths of each other in their lap times, and it shows on the track. Actually, I think what's happening here, yeah, it is. Matthew Lee is pulling away from Gary Carlton, and that's what's giving me the illusion that he's catching Speed. Big gap between all the positions now. Dewerson way back in 5th. Schemmerhorn and Manglass are the last 2 cars on the track. 2 to go now. I see the flagman with the 2 to go sign at the finish line. Just a few more circuits, 12 turns here at Homestead. Speed through turn 8 for the final time this weekend. Actually, through the final time this year, probably, as I'm not sure that Alex will be back to the Homestead facility. White flag. white flag. Speed looking strong out front. You can argue that he got that today. The number 41 made it very clear. He even apologized to his team for his mistake yesterday. Today, flawless out front so far. Ooh, close to that exit cone. Again, if you hit one of those cones unassisted, it's an automatic penalty. You got to be careful with those things. Okay, coming through 12 for the final time. He'll see the checkered flags now as he heads to the start-finish line. And your winner is Alex Speed. Matthew Lee second. Carlton third. Leisman in the fourth spot. Hayden Dewerson coming home fifth. Pro Shifter, again, sponsored by PSLKarting.com. They've been with us since the beginning. They're back again. This guy is a former national champion, multi-time national champion. He's got so doggone many championships, we can't list them all. Has a great run here at the Winter Tour, comes home third. The number 27 is Gary Carlton. Gary Carlton. A check for Gary and a plaque for Gary. Gary, thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate it. Great job this weekend. Up on the box there for Mr. Carlton. This guy stepped up. Don't know a lot about him before this weekend, but he certainly made his presence known as he was blazing fast all weekend. Comes home second here today. The number 14 is Matthew Lee. Matthew on the CRG, in case you couldn't tell. Hey, buddy, thanks again. Congratulations on a great run. We have a check, another check for Matthew. Gary, I've got your other check over in the briefcase, so we'll take care of that from yesterday. Gary taking home, I think, somewhere around $1,200 for the weekend. This guy said $1,700 a day, so I think he's going to take home like about $2,400 on the weekend. He's the winner here in Pro Shifter as well. Redemption for the 41 of Alex Speed. Okay, real quickly, Alex, is kind of the same story here today for sure. You know, yesterday you made a comment in KF2 that you felt like you let your team down. Definitely redeemed yourself today. A super hard, super strong run all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had the car, the engine, the whole package to be able to win yesterday, and I made a mistake and let my team down, and I'm really happy I could bring everything back to the top of the box today, you know, redeem myself a little bit.
No doubt about it. Made it look easy almost, but I'm sure it wasn't. Who's here helping you, buddy?
Wonderbar Racing, my dad, Tony Kart Florida, Tony Kart Spa, or wherever that, Italy, SRA, yeah. Yeah, I think everybody helped us out, so.
Good job. Get up there. Alex taking home the cash here at the Winter Tour this weekend. Again, also taking home that Bengio rib and chest protector. Again, thank you to Joffrey Amaya and the folks at Kart Tech